All right, here he is back on the show, Magic Mike Hamel, who has a big fight this Saturday, October the 1st at Bellator 286 when he meets Max Rohskopf. Mike, how are you?
I'm good, man. Just got all settled in. My Apple TV works in my room, so that's a big deal. In Connecticut, it didn't. About broke me.
I can only imagine. And the weather's got to be a little bit nicer out there in Cali as well, right?
Oh yeah. Everything about this is coming along a lot nicer than fighting out over there on the East Coast with you guys.
You're so much closer to California. Long Beach is where the event's going to be held. What was the travel like? Did you drive or did you just still hop on a flight?
No, it was still hopping on a flight, but an hour flight up and down, So it was super easy. But it'll be nice, my family from Arizona will get to come out and watch. My friends and family will all be there. So it'll be good actually having some fans in the stand for me this time.
No doubt. Are you guys going to stick around a little bit afterwards and enjoy the California scene, or are you going to head back to Arizona?
No, we're just gonna head right back. I like hanging out in Arizona anyways better. I'm not big on the beach. I'm a mountain guy anyway, so everything's too expensive out here. I'll dip my easy.
I know all about that. I lived in Southern California for 5 years. It's very expensive, and the traffic is insane. I don't miss that at all. I can tell you, man, it's not just me. I've talked to other people in my area who obviously love the sport of MMA and watch all the Bellator cards. And this fight with you and Max, a lot of people are just super excited for this matchup. And we know him from, what happened in the UFC. He's won 2 fights since what happened where he quit on the stool against Austin Hubbard. When you look at this matchup, how do you like it for yourself? Do you feel like this is a matchup that you should be able to shine in?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've said it before. I'm a bad matchup for everybody, anyways. So if he can make it out of the first round with me, he's going to be a completely different fighter, anyways. I'm not trying to talk ill about him, and I know he had some things going on with him during that UFC fight. But if you quit, you've got that in you. I just got to find a way to bring it out.
Yeah, and he did. He took a lot of heat from that, and I mean, a lot of fans. We know how the MMA fans can be. They can be absolutely ruthless. When I'm sure you watched that fight. I mean, he clearly has a good skill set. Do you feel like this is going to be a case where he just wants to try and get you to the ground, or do you feel like this could take place on the feet?
No, I mean that's his only chance, right? So his only chance is to take me down and throw up crazy submissions, but I work with better wrestlers and better grapplers every single day at the MMA lab, so I'm really not too concerned with it. But he definitely doesn't want to keep it on the feet. You can tell he's uncomfortable there. He backs up. He shows it real bad when he gets hit. He does not like being on the feet. So I imagine he's going to come out and try to push the pressure pretty hard.
He has won 2 fights in a row since being released from the UFC. Have you watched those fights, and do you feel like he's evolved at all since then?
I mean, not really. He's still just a guy that throws a big overhand, tries to get you in the cage and throw up subs on the ground. So no, he's the same guy.
Okay. Are you going to be disappointed in yourself if this does go into deep waters, or do you feel like, clearly this is going to be your fight to win early?
No, not at all. I actually would prefer it to go into deep waters. He's shown that he doesn't like being there, and I never really slowed down too much in any of my fights. So I think that definitely favors me, if anything, outside the first or second round.
What has camp at the lab been like this time? Has it just been a lot of stuff and takedowns, or have you been working the ground more than usual?
A little bit more, right? But I mean, you guys got to remember, I've been wrestling since I was 4, so this isn't anything new. I was a Division I wrestler just like him. So nothing too crazy. It's just my sparring partners have changed a little bit, right? I've been going with more heavy wrestlers, a little bit bigger guys, but that's it.
Who have those guys been? Who have been your main training partners this camp?
I've been working with a guy, his name's Alexis Martinez. He was a real good wrestler. He's got really good MMA wrestling, essentially. Worked with him most of the camp, and then just a few other guys at the lab. But I mean, at the lab, everybody works with everybody, so.
And you're on a 2-fight win streak right now, Mike. A win over Max. Where does that put you in the pecking order? I imagine you'd be getting a pretty big fight, especially if you shine and look good in this one.
Yeah. Well, after I win this one, they put a number by my name and start paying me better.
That's got to be nice to think about, right?
Yeah. I mean, with how some of the rankings in Bellator have gone, I've been a little irritated that I haven't been ranked. My only 2 losses are to guys who are number 1 contenders. And then I beat an LFA champ, and I beat Achilles Mota, who just beat the shit out of Dan Moret. So I don't see why I didn't have a number by my name to begin with, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter.
Now, the last time I did speak with you, you were talking about having a left shoulder injury. I know you've had that taken care of. Can you just kind of run me through the surgery, the recovery, and that whole time period and everything?
Yeah. So after I talked to you, I remember I was trying to get on that Phoenix card. So I was trying to hold off on that. But yeah, I ended up having a torn bicep tendon and some other ligaments up there torn. And so the doctor went up there, cleaned it up. I busted my ass at physical therapy, but I'm a little bit older now. I just turned 30, so I didn't heal like I did when I had shoulder surgery in college. So it took a little bit longer, but that thing's back as good as it has been since I can remember. So I'm ready to go.
What kind of exercises did you do while you were in the recovery process? Because obviously you can't spar and do what you normally would do on the mats at the gym. So what were you doing to kind of stay fit?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was my bicep, right? So just a lot of 12-ounce curls. No, I just typical rehab shit that you do anyways, right? Like a lot of band work. I actually did a lot more legs than you would think, because me bearing like weight, like having a hex bar deadlift and everything like that. And all the people over at Aris that have rehabbed pretty much our whole team are really into getting us stronger when we go in there. So it was honestly a lot of powerlifting with it.
Okay. How much time did you give yourself to do those 12-ounce curls? Because your job is to be in perfect shape year round. So a break every now and then has got to be nice for the body. So how much time did you give yourself off to kind of enjoy some food and have a few adult beverages if you want?
I had a couple months. I had a couple months getting there fat and happy and enjoying my life. But yeah, once I was able to pretty much get back to doing something I would consider an exercise, right? Not just like doing band work, but get my heart rate up. I was just back to pushing the envelope and trying to get back there.
What was the heaviest you got up to?
High 70s. I don't get that big, right? Like I'm pretty much, I'm a little bit bigger than I was when I was at 45, but not much. I put on just a little bit of muscle mass trying to gain healthy weight, but that was the whole point of me going up, so I didn't have to kill myself making weight anymore. So I've got to really work my ass off to get above 80.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And obviously the fight being this Saturday, I got to ask you, what's the weight at right now? Are you pretty much on par with where you normally would be?
Yeah, no, I'm lighter actually, because I did a longer camp this time since I've been out for so long. So instead of a 5 or 6 week camp, I did about an 8-9 week camp, and weight came down super quick. Diet's been on point. Besides my one hiccup with Borix, I was short notice. I've never had an issue with my weight, so it's dialed in.
All right, Bellator 286 again this Saturday, October 1st in Long Beach, California. Want to get a couple of fight picks from you. The main event is the 145 title, Patricio Pitbull, Adam Borix. How do you see that one going?
I don't know. Borix is such a good point fighter, and he's very good at keeping people at his range. But it's just whether it's how good his wrestling defense is, right? Because Pitbull's good on the ground. That's how he beat McKee. He was able to get McKee against the cage, wrestle him up a little bit. So it's just kind of the battle of attrition, whose game plan is going to work more. I'm hoping for Borix. I like him. He's a good dude. Get some new fresh blood in there in the belt.
What do you think are his chances? You think he can do it?
Yeah. I mean, the dude's knocked out some really good guys. He's definitely got the puncher's chance right there, and he's obviously proved that his wrestling's gotten better. He was taking down Mads Burnell, who normally is the one doing the taking down. So just depends on how, like I said, just depends on how good his wrestling defense is come fight night. But I think he can win it.
All right. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Co-main event's going to be a really good one as well. AJ McKee, Spike Carlisle. Do you think AJ McKee gets the W, or do you feel like Spike can pull up the upset?
No, AJ's going to spark him. That's what I think. I think AJ is too good everywhere, and Spike's just good at being tough. And being tough only take you so far when you get kicked upside the head.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. I think this is definitely a fight where AJ McKee will go in there and shine. Well, as excited as I am for those two fights, Mike, I'm equally as excited for your fight with Max Rohskopf. Again, this is going to be at 155, and we talked a little bit earlier about what happened in the UFC. That's what a lot of people know him for. Give me your ultimate prediction here in this fight, and do you feel extra pressure to go in there and really put it on him and to get this win to get him out of there?
No, it's the same amount of pressure that I put on myself for every fight. I have really high expectations for myself. I know where I belong, so I just need to go out there and do my job. Nothing ever changes with that. But as far as Max, I expect him to be ready to wrestle his ass off for 15 minutes. If he can wrestle for 15 minutes, then that's what I prep for. Then it'll be a good fight. If he can't, if he starts gassing, we know I'm not going anywhere. We know what's going to happen after that.
All right, man. And you said earlier you want to stay active. You want to hopefully get back in there and get a number next to your name. If you're, injury free and you're healthy, do you want to fight again before 2023?
Yeah, I'd like to fight before the end of the year if possible. Is that realistic? I think they're already booking up December. Probably not, but first thing of the year for sure. I don't want too much time off. I went a whole year almost without getting a paycheck, so I got to get back in there and make it a living.
No doubt, man. Well, we're all excited to see you back in there, Mike. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Before we do sign off, I'm going to give you the floor. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, floor is yours.
Yep. So follow me on Instagram at MagicMike_MMA, not the 145. I keep telling you guys that it got hacked and the followers on that thing keep going up, pissing me off. But besides that, X Endurance, they're a good supplement company. I've worked with them for years and all third party tested. So, it's all safe. And Arizona IV Medics back home, real good dude, mobile IV therapy. They helped hook it up this camp. But besides that, man, just tune in, watch, enjoy the show.